The name of the program is the Talk with Tariro. Hello and welcome. On the show today, we are running with the president's mantra, which says "Nika inovakwa neve nevayo." And here we are looking at particularly young people, where we often cry about the issue of unemployment in Zimbabwe. And what we are saying is sometimes you actually don't need to be employed. And on the show today, we have invited one young person who is I would want to call him a serial entrepreneur, told himself, I'm not going to be employed. So we would want to hear his entrepreneurship journey, as well as motivating other young people. My colleague, co-host Alice.
Welcome to the talk. I'm so privileged to sit next to the billionaire. Hey, the billionaire, rubbing shoulders with the billionaire. Welcome, Mr. George.
Thank you so much.
Yes, we have George Menenwa, who is the CEO and founder of Pro Air. George Billionaire, where did this come from?
Wow. So many years ago, I decided to call myself that after having a research. What I used to do back in the day is read a lot of books, and I found that there's this elite group of people called billionaires. And there's certain things that these people did in order for them to become billionaires. And to date, there are 2,755 billionaires. So I keep a very close track on them because I believe
that's where you belong.
With hard work and dedication and perseverance. There's a word in the Bible that says, according to your faith, yes, it shall be done to you. So when I began calling myself, a lot of people laughed and mocked me. But that was many years ago, and steadily I can tell you I am on course to that destination.
Wow.
And sooner than later you shall hear in real time that George is now a billionaire.
Yes.
Wow. That is so powerful. Yes. That is so powerful.
So how did you start your entrepreneurship journey?
So with me, one thing about me, maybe to take it back, I failed my O levels.
Really?
I failed my O levels very badly, and I had to repeat because I used to love soccer a lot. I had dreams of becoming a soccer player, you know, and I was very good at soccer. So I failed my O levels, and I didn't do too well at school. And unfortunately, my father was not able to take me. He took me to very good schools, primary up until secondary, but unfortunately, he couldn't take me to university. So I had to, you know, find my way across. So my very first job was in an internet cafe. I went at Zimex Mall. I sold phones, laptops. I worked at Wallace Boutique. I sold clothes. I worked at the Paint People. I worked at various places, about 6 or so places, before I then found my love for what I'm doing now. Saka, so one thing that I was very good was selling, but there was nothing I ever sold that gave me more satisfaction seeing somebody happy than an aircon. So that's one thing that I found that, wow, let me delve into this, and I began this journey in 2012 until where we are today. So it's a many years. It's not Dakangotanga entrepreneurship. I worked and I learned from many people until I am where I am today.
When you were growing up, Makambo rotere muchi employer, or it's something that you just get picked up when in your journey? I mean,
so from a young age, I remember Ndango paid my A levels. I actually did have a dream, and I was at an award ceremony place, and I just finished school in the year 2002, and I told my father,
wow,
and everybody did not understand, but it doesn't make sense, and I clearly remember that dream so vividly. Some laughed and mocked me, you know, it may be that, but it's surprising 7 years on, the exact same vision
it came to pass.
The red blazer I was wearing,
wow,
it was so vivid and clear.
Wow.
So it's from a young age I've always had this zeal. Kwandakakura kuGlenora kuMaraini, ndakambodakuvhura phone shop kwakaita Maramba Trina. I tried a lot of things,
yeah.
but kubva kudhara I've always wanted to become an employer.
So this means when you were working under someone, your vision was never to remain an employee.
I would say, there are times pane vanorana mabusiness, the challenges of kuzobhadhara vanhu and this, that and the other. I was kind of happy, and kwese kwandaishanda I used to excel. Whether it was selling paint or clothes, I would treat people highly.
Yes.
And vanhu vakawanda vaiti pakambani pako here, this because of the way I treated people.
Yeah.
But initially I never wanted to be an entrepreneur, but with the certain events of life that happened, it then led me after ndakuzofollowa ndakuona kuti no mabillionaire vakamboshandawo, but
yes,
there's a time pavakazoita break off and they began their own journeys.
Wow.
One thing that struck me, George, is when you spoke about the fact that it was until that time when you found something that you love and you had to do that. And if you read leadership, motivational books, they always talk about needing to find your niche, something that you love to do. And once you have that, you master that, you won't have to work a single day. Maybe expand on that for us in relation to your love for the work that you do.
I love what I do so much. I think a lot of people are not ziva. Wherever they see me wearing my brand. I drive branded cars. Everywhere I go, I talk about what I do. And I believe even Tari, for you, this that you've been doing for many years, nobody can force you to do it because you love it. So a lot of people, vazhinji vanotadza kuidentify that one thing. For me, I could sell anything, but I got specific satisfaction in saying, this brought happiness to somebody, and I enjoyed it as well. So you find a lot of people get vanorasika, but business is a simple principle. It's about you providing a product or a service and giving it to people, and they exchange it with money. So when you love that so much, it will then ultimately begin to pay you in the end.
And how has that maybe impacted on you? And because the way I'm actually seeing you, I follow you on all your platforms, and I see you almost every day. You have these affirmations that you do with your kids in the morning, and these are school run school run diaries. And I'm seeing your kids the youngest is what, 9, 8?
Yeah, the youngest is
9, and already if you listen to him, you're like, okay, if I'm looking at this young boy, where he's heading to, I think he's going to be another billionaire. So after the break, we would want you to sort of share with us how important is affirming whatever you want to do, and especially even doing it at a young age. Join us after the break. Welcome back. Our discussion on the Talk with Tariro continues, and we have George Billionaire, where we are looking at youth entrepreneurship. And definitely from the nuggets that he's sharing, it's not just young people who are going to be benefiting, but even those of us who of the mature age, we will learn one or two things. Before we went for the break, I was alluding to the school run diaries that you do with your kids, and really to look at just the importance of affirming something that you want to do in your life, and saying, this is what I want to do, this is what I'm focusing. How important is that?
Okay, so it's so important. One thing about me in Pandai Kura, my father used to take me to school, and my conversations with him are some of the most vivid and memorable up until now. So the time I spend a lot with my children is when I take them to school. So one thing I found in the word of God, it says, whatever word you shall utter, it shall come to pass. And it's so important also where it says, no word that you say shall return before it accomplishes.
Exactly.
So it's amazing with my children how we started these affirmations. And, we tell them, I'm blessed, I'm favored, I'm a child of God. I'm the head and not the tail, I'm above and not beneath. Those simple affirmations, now, they are now in grade 4, some in grade 7. If you see them at school, and tangible things, they are prefects, they are leading this.
So one's winning swimming,
So it began as a word, but then behind what you say, there's also a work ethic. And with my children, I've taught them so well. You know, we wake up, I make them read books during the holiday. So when you train up a child in the way you want them to go, they will never depart from the very important foundational things. And like you're rightfully saying, they are very competitive. In everything they do, they give it their all because of the foundation that's in them, which is I need to excel, I need to work hard, I need to first speak what I want before it comes to pass. So because of that, I've seen tangible results. And even you need to speak what you want to see. We can't continue as a country of Zimbabwe. Things are not working. I don't think I'll make it. You know, negative self-talk does not yield positive.
I want you to expand more on that. The power of the word and how it comes to pass. Whatever you say with your mouth, it's almost like you're declaring.
True, it is. And you know, I love to dwell on the word of God. Because shoko ramwari rinotaura zvairi. And you know, pandakatanga, for instance, I began and people used to laugh and mock it. But I used to tell people, Pro Air one day is going to be the top leading air conditioning company. But then, without hard work behind it, it wouldn't. But I first had to affirm. In the word of God, it says, "Let the weak say,
I'm strong.
Let the blind say, I can see." So it's very basic. You know, we can read many books, but the foundations are in there, and it begins by kutaura, zvaurikuda, even zvisipo zvisati zvabatika. But it will definitely come to pass with a hard work ethic. I'm not saying to people, go and say, "Hi, I'm going to be this, I'm going to buy this." No. Panoda kushanda kwakasimba behind your words. And with my kids, they've understood that. And I was swimming, I don't know, swim every day. They do extra than the ordinary. There's a quote that says, if you do what other people don't do, you'll get what other people don't do.
We have a challenge with these young zealots. They spend most of their time in the mountains, praying and declaring words like you're saying. Some spend their time watching sermon after sermon and declaring words, you know. But when it comes to working, they don't go out in the field to work. I think you have a message for the young Christian boys.
You know, in the word of God, God will bless the works
of your hands.
So, you know, if you do the ordinary, God will do the extra. And then you become extraordinary.
Wow.
Sakavazhinji, they are not even doing the ordinary of starting. You can't believe kuti muchangomuka mane mari mubank kana muwangu. You have to do something. And Mwari anotanzi, if you are faithful with little, I will entrust you with much. Saka wakatanga business and you are doing the little, you know, if you are faithful with it and you build steadily, you will then become great. Saka kunamata kwakanaka, but you need to do it in moderation. And you also need to do what is called working hard.
And never ignore reality.
True. You know,
And George, you're mentioning the importance of starting. You know, a lot of people come up with all sorts of excuses. I'll start tomorrow, or I don't have this. There's no way I can start. George started because he had A, B, C, D. But how important is just starting?
Yeah. You know, I find it very difficult. You know, there's a Chinese proverb, not a journey of 1,000 miles.
Yes.
But I want to do this, but they're not willing to start. I believe in life, hapana chinonzi failure. I don't believe people fail. So I abbreviate the word fail as F is first attempt in learning.
Wow.
So every time you fall down, muna arikudona, arikutodzidza, then muna asina zvaarikuita.
Yes.
So it's important to learn from our mistakes. Chakakosha is not kuramba uri pasi wadona. Get back up and keep going. And one thing for me, I fell so many times, but chandakadzidza, which I learned from the billionaires I studied, panga vaine network yevanhu. Vaive vanhu vekuti akatadza kuita chinhu anonovhunza. And one thing with me, with Pro Air, with why we've become where we are, I've had mentors around me.
Yes.
So if you surround yourself with one very successful, kana newewo uchapedzera wa successful. If you surround yourself with business-minded people, which is also the greatest challenge I think our young generation has. If you show me, there's books, and not show me your friends, I'll show you your future.
Exactly.
One war kutamba now. You're an ego, but we'll spend a time kutamba nehuku. Saka you're forgetting to bururuka, uchienda above the clouds, and then you end up becoming like one vese. Varungota nyika yakaoma zvakadai hazvisi kuita. But kune vamwe in this economy vari kutobudirira, vari kuflourisha. Vasiri kungoti no, it's politics.
Exactly.
No, andina kuenda kuchikoro. I'm not educated for this. Saka we need to quit making excuses, like you rightfully said. Totanga. Hakusi kufela, but kudzidza.
Yes. Quit making excuses.
Wow, indeed. So, what's your word to the young entrepreneurs who are trying in this economic fickle? They are trying really hard. What's your word to them?
Okay. I would say one thing that I've seen so many people in the country of Zimbabwe, and the word I'm going to say is called focus. Saka nasi Tara kutengesa makompyuta, mangwana kutengesa mota.
Thank you.
Mangwana kutengesa imba. So Tara hana one fixed abode.
Thank you.
And that's the greatest challenge we have. Kuti Tari takadasa 2 years ago, what was she doing?
Exactly.
Unotuzomshaya paya pawaenda kuti aitengesa mota panapa. So it's a great challenge when we lose ourselves. And you'll find kuti takataura mazita, I'm going to say some names. Kuna Philip Mataranyika. The moment I say his name, if I say Strive Masiwa, if I say Cristiano Ronaldo, if I say Oprah Winfrey,
we will continue after the break, George. I'm glad, and she's laughing because we had that same conversation in terms of who are you as a brand and what are you doing. And I would also want to then address, when we come back, the issue of saying, I've seen George is selling McCain or is speaking McCain Uko. I'm leaving what I'm doing because I've seen George Arumega Marine McCain. I'm also going to follow suit and do the same. Join us after the break. We will continue. Welcome back. We continue with our discussion where we have George, who is really giving us life-changing information in terms of who we are as individuals, who we are if we want to build ourselves to be successful. Alice?
So you mentioned you see Ronaldo, you see Oprah. I'm Oprah, African Oprah.
So it's important that when people mention your name, they need to say, this is what
they don't need to struggle.
You don't, and that happens with consistency.
Yes.
Focus abbreviated means follow one course until success.
Wow. One course until success. That's really powerful.
People will know you for that. And then kana vakukuziva vanokutraga no matter where you are, because wakuramba uchita
they're established in that area.
But kana vakungoti kubatapo azviite.
So Tari said, okay.
Better uidiridze ruwa one kure than kuti wori sprinkler on men.
Yes.
Because
one enough water. So Tari said, mentioned something like, waona uya ari kunhonga makeni, ari kuita mari nemakeni. Uti, izvehembe riganibosvita pasaidi riganibonongawo makeni. The next thing, waona umwe ari kuita
kutsvaira murodhi.
Kutsvaira murodhi. Ubva watoti, rega nditomhanya ndine connection ndozivanana nanhengeka uya rega nditonoitawo zvekutsvaira murodhi.
I think, with vanhu vakadaro, you won't go far because zvinhu zvinoramba zvichichinja. And if you don't have strong identity in what you want to do, apana kwaunoenda.
Strong identity.
You want apana kwaunoenda kure. You'll get money, but then also not my contract apasina. That opportunity is gone. Unganga chitengesa ma-face mask COVID. Zvapera zveCovid. Zvavakuitei. Hausisina chinhu chekuita. So find something that is you. Vanotengesa ma-mask, obviously, ma-pharmaceuticals, vangoona another niche. Vagara vanotengesa mushonga nezvinhu. So it's not outside their line of work. Saka it's important kuti find yourself. Find yourself. And I spent many years ndichimboshanda kwakawanda. And ndazoti izvi ndo zvandofara. And the journey started when I said, no, enough is enough. Because at that time I had twins and I was earning $300. It wasn't adding up. It's like I had to take a huge step. But let me just start this. And it started, and 10 years later, I am where I am.
You're already 10 years.
10 years old.
Wow.
And George, one thing that I would want when we are looking at young people, there is social media and positive, good use of social media. When we are looking at entrepreneurship, I've seen you using social media for your growth. And we have had people who use social media, I might say, in a useless way. You even wonder.
You know what? I went to this other office just 2 days ago, and the gentleman said to me, my socialite guy, you're sitting on money. You just don't know how to monetize your influence. What do you think?
I think, you need to use your strength. I'm a marketer by profession. And I went to school for marketing. I'm self-proclaimed a marketer by profession.
Well,
because I know how to market, to put the message I want people to understand out there. Pressure Eriko today, people see Tari in a Mercedes-Benz, a new one, but they don't understand what Tari only 20 years in the industry, doing what she is doing, and she's steadily grown from, But then majority of people are voted no, later 10,000. Yeah. They don't know Benz. But Mario invested. If you were to sit down with Tari, she'll tell you no. Takambutanga ndichi driver 323. And then I invested in this ndakadai gradually. Yes. But majority social media these days, hapana munhu unoona achichema pa social media. Hakuna munhu akasviba. Munhu waise selfie. Selfie wakachena only when you make up, But they don't show the other side.
Exactly.
Wow.
So it's misleading our generation. But success is not put in the microwave 2 minutes. Exactly. That's not it. It takes time and it's a painful period.
Yes.
And Vazhinji are not willing to go through the painful process. Quickly. But unfortunately, that's not the way that.
So how best can we monetize our influence?
I think if you position yourself
correctly.
I think if you position yourself correctly, because with social media, if I follow Tari, if you go through a post, I can tell you what type of person she is. You can tell, no, she is good with the corporate world. So if she posts this, I know she'll get a reach of these people. Exactly. So it's also about your image. When people see you, what do they quickly immediately say? On a consistent. So your page, if I go through it, not mono akadai, anita zakadai, this, that, good or bad. And if I'm to use you to advertise my brand, I would rather choose good. No, let me go for A instead of B because of running down. So,
wow. Wow.
Yeah. As young people and even as adults, I think we are learning. George, there is the issue of employment, unemployment. People often say, we can't all be entrepreneurs. We can't all be selling something. Because at the moment, it's almost like everyone is selling. Everyone is selling something. So in terms of identifying the niche, and even just using these excuses that we often use. And one thing that people often use is the issue of andinamari. Yet, if you listen to some people, you hear somebody saying, I started something with $5. And akatanga maybe gonna order mango too. And from there,
they grow.
Yeah. Airtime chayo we've had. People are making money through airtime. Sure. So it's just that, those excuses that we use. And oftentimes we find that they prevent us from accelerating.
Yeah. I would say, I think I'll go back to the issue of association. Chinwan chakazeta kuti ndibude out of my comfort zone. Yeah. Kutamba now. So when you go and hang out with egos, vanhu vari in business, wakanzwa nyaya dzekutaurwa ipapo, usina kana send muhomwe.
Thank you.
Zvinokudza kuti okay, uya akambozvitanga sei.
Show me your network and I'll
show you your network. So unobvona kuti nyaya dzekutamba zvichitaurwa idzi. Transfer 1 million. Toda kuita sei, I'm opening branch kuningi. Iwo wona kuti but wait, takafana ne. But when you then ask, how did you start?
Yes.
Or how they started. Or what did this were also, you know, for me, earlier on when I started making some money, my mentors, they'd have taken a Mercedes Benz, but when you know, George, it's out to business, I would ask. But our generation doesn't want to ask.
Exactly.
I want to make money quickly, and that's that. So when we hang around with vanhu vakasiyana newe kumaraini, ndakurira when if I keep playing with those people, trust you me, I would not have seen kuti kutano kwakaita sei, and then I wouldn't have been provoked. I say in life, the most dangerous person munhu ari exposed. Munhu aona zvakanaka haambofa akadzokera ari the same.
Exactly.
Munhu anga akadai it provokes you. So unodzokera kumbako, but pane ka-experience kaonako kuti aindro zvido zvakanaka izvi, and izvozvo ndo zvinozoita kuti no, I want kuramba ndichitamba navanhu vakadai, ndokuti zvizomanifest.
Unfortunately, we've actually run out of time. We would want you to have you back here.
Yes.
Because there are so many things that we have not tackled. In 30 seconds, your key message to young people, just a motivational message.
I would like to say to young people that it's important to believe in themselves. If you don't believe in yourself, nobody will believe in you.
Indeed.
It's so important to quit making excuses and to actually start. It's better you try and fail. Remember, I said fail is first attempt in learning. A person who's making mistakes is better than somebody who's doing nothing. And I believe definitely sooner than later you'll hit onto something that will make you successful.
Wow, this was so mind-blowing. I really loved this. This was super great. Thank you so much for sharing the wisdom nuggets with us, all the youth, the Zimbabwean youths. This indeed is a billionaire in the making. Vakutoshika. You can tell. So let's wait and watch the space. Zimbabwe is blessed to have you, Mr. George Billionaire. From us to you, we love you. This is The Talk.